Hello and welcome to my F124 driver career mode here today for part 38 for the Monaco Grand Prix. But we round the final corner for our first run in, up to the line, cross it, and that's going to put us on provisional pole. It's a good lap there by us. Now we skip on to the end of the session. We've gone fastest in the middle sector as we really struggle to get out the final corner. We come up to the line and that's going to put us back on provisional pole. We went for it again, but we were 2.5 tenths down as we round the final corner, we drop it, and we've lost 3 tenths in that final sector, but we went a little bit too early and we dropped all the way down.
Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Brown, Perez, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Tsunoda, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Joe, Sargent, Sainz, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. Almost ready to take the start of the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
So here we go then to the Monaco Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. We've got a decent-ish start. We need to gain as many places as possible on this opening lap. Go down the inside of the Williams there. Now in front of us is Max and Alonso going side by side. Max trying to make it 4 wins out of 4. Round the outside, tries to go Alonso. He has the inside line. We're all over the back, trying to find any sort of a gap to try and get past one of them. Max holds it round the outside. Now he has the inside line for the hairpin. Alonso's going to try and keep it pinned. Now has the inside line for Portier and the second Portier, and he's clipped the wall. And got a massive bit of curb. We've got a good exit. We're past Alonso. Now can we get past Max Verstappen? We're going for a lunge down the inside. Max shuts the door and Alonso goes off the track and re-overtakes us, and he has to give us the position surely. He's overtaken us by going off the track. I don't care that he's my teammate. He has to give us that place surely. As Max gained a place and we skip all the way on to lap 6. We could just not find a way past Fernando Alonso. Team orders needed. He should have given the position back to us surely. Anyway, after lap 1, and I can just see George Russell and Max just slowly getting further and further up the road, and I just can't find a way past Alonso. I feel like we have the pace for a podium in this race potentially, as we currently sit in P5. Lap 7, we're a bit closer to him this time. Can we do our classical Monaco move? We're too far back yet again and we're getting very frustrated now. Behind the back of our teammate Alonso, very experienced part of the car and all the right bits of racetrack, but we're getting a bit impatient now and we're going for the lunge down the inside at the hairpin, and finally we're sort of ahead of Alonso. He's going to keep it pinned, but finally our teammate is behind us. It should have happened 8 laps ago really, but we've wasted a lot of time in this race. Now can we get after Max and George? And that's exactly what we were doing. We were very quickly catching the Red Bull and the Mercedes, but you can see the gap we've pulled out behind, 1.1 seconds. By lap 11 we're right on the back of the Red Bull, but our same issue is not. It's hard to pass round here. It's not impossible if you're prepared to take the risk. Lap 13 now, we're still all over the back of Max, and how different the early stages of this race could have played out if we could have got down the inside of him here on lap 1, and we're much closer to Max this time, like coming out of the chicane, but we're too far back to have a go down the inside at to back, as Alonso is dropping back a bit here as we're all over the back of Max. Just can't find a way through. George is really holding us up. Of course, we can't even have a go really with the DRS because Max is getting DRS off of the Mercedes. As Leclerc leads this race, he's going for back-to-back wins, and lap 16 we're going for it. We don't really have much to lose. We're coming into the pits to try and undercut the Red Bull. As we come into the pits, off go the mediums, on go the hards to get us to the end of the race. We are potentially sacrificing tyre life, but you can see there's a Sauber and a Haas. We have to beat them out to have any chance of the undercut as we come out of the pits. There is the Haas, there is the Sauber. We have to get to turn 1 first, and we do. That is race critical for us. As lap 17, at the end of this lap, George and Max are both into the pits. Now, have we done enough? As the mediums go off the Red Bull and the hards go on it, and it's slow. He has to wait for the Ferrari. That might help us out here, as there's Lando just at the road looking for another good podium. As we round the final corner, we're coming flying down the pit straight. We're ahead of Max, and we're also ahead of George Russell. The undercut has worked massively here. You can see the gap now between the Red Bull and us, and now we're on the back of the RB of Tsunoda, who very generously decides to pit. But you can see the gap now. We've pulled out to George behind. I always knew we had the pace. Now, can we catch the McLaren of Lando Norris? And that is exactly what we were doing. And at this stage of the Grand Prix, our pace, you can see the gap we pulled out behind, 3.2 seconds. And the gap out to Lando is 3 seconds as well. But I was starting to think here, can we win this race? Is there a chance we can win this Monaco Grand Prix? Because it's only 6 seconds our gap to Leclerc. I know this is Monaco and it's impossible to overtake, but we've proven so far that you can. So we're going for it. Let's see, can we win this Monaco Grand Prix? We're all over the back of Lando. We're going to have to make this move very quickly if we want a chance, and we're going for it. Down the inside, we're past the McLaren of Lando Norris, up into P2. Now we have 10 laps to catch and pass Charles Leclerc. He's going for back-to-back wins at his home Grand Prix. Can we catch a Ferrari? And by lap 35, we have caught the Ferrari. This could be one of our greatest drives of the career so far. After being held up in the early stages, the undercut has given us a chance to win this race. But Leclerc's going to make that Ferrari incredibly wide as he goes for another home Grand Prix win. We had a look down the inside into the chicane, as now we're trying to get up the inside, but we're too far back going through to back. We're all over the road here trying to find a way past Leclerc as we get closer and closer towards the final sector. But lap 38, we're running out of time if we want to win this Monaco Grand Prix. We're going for it again, our classic Monaco move, but I think Leclerc is known to it now. He knows we're going to do that. But as we round the final corner, go on to the final lap of this Monaco Grand Prix. Is it going to be a second win for Charles Leclerc, or is it going to be a second win for us in Monaco? One lap to decide it. Drop back a little bit as we go round the casino. Now towards Mirabeau. This might be a golden chance, but we're too far back. Now as we go into the hairpin, we are very rapidly here running out of corners and opportunities. We're right on the back of the Ferrari. We've realistically got one more chance here, down into the Nouvelle chicane. We have to get a good exit here through the tunnel. We're very close now to the Ferrari. It's all or nothing as we go into the chicane. We've made contact with Leclerc. We have to get the exit here, but we can't get the traction. Leclerc keeps us behind, and that well might be it in terms of the win for the Monaco Grand Prix in 2026. Coming into the final two corners, Leclerc is going to hold on unless we can drag racing to the line. We've dropped the back end though. Leclerc is going to hold on for back-to-back wins in Monaco. We threw everything at him, but we're going to have to stay P2.
Will win again. Charles Leclerc takes the checkered flag. Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
That's been then your Monaco Grand Prix, a Monaco classic, I think you can say. Charles Leclerc beats us then by just 0.6 of a second. We threw absolutely everything at him to try and find a way past, and he held on for his second home GP win and his second in a row. We went out all in at the chicane, couldn't get past, but we would have never had that chance if it weren't for the strategy and the undercut on Max and George. That gave us the chance to win that race. I do want to kind of highlight Alonso as well. I think if we hadn't have had to spend 8 laps trying to overtake him, maybe we could have had more laps on Leclerc, but then we would have just got stuck behind Max. It's a lot of what ifs in that race, but we'll take a P2. It's an unbelievable drive by us. And then Lando got the final place on the podium, and then George and Max round out the top 5. And then down at the back, no one retired from this race, which is very rare in Monaco, and Pierre Gasly was last on the road. So Max though still leads the championship. We jump up from P4 to P2. Max no longer perfect this season in terms of race wins. He has finally been beaten here in Monaco. We are though 3 points ahead of Lando and 4 points ahead of Charles Leclerc. That gap could have been even bigger if we could have got Leclerc on that final lap. Then Alonso moves down from P2 all the way down to P5. It is so tight then behind Max in the early stages of this championship season. Down at the back then, there's still quite a few drivers still yet to score, and now Joe has been overtaken by Sargent at the bottom of the pile. So in terms of the constructors then, Red Bull's lead has been wiped out. We're level on points with Red Bull after 4 rounds. It could be a 7-point lead. Ferrari 26 points back, so Ferrari very much still in it in these early stages. McLaren at P4 and Mercedes are P5. But that's been an absolute classic Monaco Grand Prix. Who said you can't overtake in Monaco and the races are boring? We go though to Canada next, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.